Hi there, if you're here, you must be wondering how you can revert commits in your Git project. And the process is actually very simple. If you're on GitHub desktop and you have the Git command line installed, you can do this as well. Now, what you want to do is just to find your Git project, right click and go to Git bash here like this. From here, what you want to do is you want to be able to find the hash of your commit, which you can find by either doing git log like this. The hash will be this string here. Or if you're using GitHub desktop to manage your project largely, you can also go to the GitHub desktop and click on this thing over here. So you first want to find the commit that you want to revert to, copy the hash. If you're using git log, the hash, you have to scroll through the git log content and then find the hash like this. So whatever the hash is, once you find it, you will have to right click to copy, and you can put a Q here to go out of git log. And from here, you want to do a git reset, and from here, paste your hash right here. This will cause the project to roll back to an older version, and you can also see this in GitHub desktop again if you manage it using there. Otherwise, if you're using purely command line, you can use git log, and you will see the last two commits are gone. Now, these commits are just gone from your local repository. They are not gone from the GitHub repository that you have. So you have to push those changes. If you recall, every time you work with Git, anytime you make changes to your commit tree, you have to push those changes for them to be reflected to other members of your team. So to push these changes, firstly, whatever change that you have reset, you are still capable of pulling them down again, because the commit tree in your GitHub repository will now be a couple of steps ahead of you. In my case, because I reverted two changes, I can now pull down the same two changes that I just reverted. And all the changes that I've made, they will be placed inside my changes list. So if I want to do a full removal of these files, I have to discard these changes here after this, and this can of course take a while. So once all this is done, if you want to change the history like this, the last thing that you will have to do is, let's say you want to just remove those two changes, you can do a git push u and origin main. This is all standard stuff, but you want to do a force like this. Okay, I'm not actually going to run this command, because by running this will push my resets onto the GitHub repository, and I don't want that. But this is the command that you want to use if you want to change the commit tree on your GitHub repository as well. There are a couple of risks that come with this, because if you force a commit and you change the history, right, this will affect every person who's working on the project. So when you do this, you want to make sure that the whole team is okay with that and that they haven't made any further changes, because if they make any changes on top of that, they may have to reclone the entire project, and in that process they may lose work. So you want to be really careful with changing the commit tree. I personally only use it when I want to unstage some changes that I have just committed and I know no one has made any changes to the project. But you have to deal with this on a case-by-case basis. But here it is. If you want to remove commits from your GitHub repository, this is how you do it. That's all for this video.